So on March 18th, I was still at the Woodspring, and I decided to start emailing APD again and Travis County Sheriff and my dad. So here we have the first email after a while that I reached out. I reached out to the chief, Brian Manley. He's the chief of the Austin City Police. And then Chief Ryan Phipps, he's the chief of police for Manor, and Sheriff Sally Hernandez. I also copied my father, Detective Joseph Hernandez, who was the originally assigned detective on the first case that I filed for the gangstalking/terrorism. I also copied Detective Robin Denton, Detective Alan Goodwin, and Detective Brandon Sheffy, who were detectives on the other three cases that I filed. None of whom called me back, although one of them I did speak to on the phone when I reached out to him. I also copied Sergeant Mike Cowden, who hung up on me once without even saying anything. I also copied Lieutenant Christine Chomot and Commander Art Fortune and the Assistant Police Chief Joseph Chacon. So I also stressed that two suspects confessed over a year ago and that it would take less than an hour of their time to confirm this, and that this was not a hard case to solve, and that I could prove that there were officers doing very bad things. I also stressed that if you're notified of a terrorist group, you must take responsibility in ensuring that the claims are investigated. They had done nothing, and I found that to be unacceptable. I stressed that I was still suffering an ongoing series of 24/7 round-the-clock assaults. I said I presumed by officers with riot crowd control devices, also used in hostage crisis scenarios, which can cause all the sensations that I was suffering from. I also pointed out that may be why I was in contact with the police officer Marc McLeod back in 2014, with texts dating back to 2015, in which he was messing with me along with everyone in my house, who were all suffering a subset of the symptoms that I was suffering from at that time. I linked them to my YouTube channel. I told them that you will see me in a sound state of mind, describing the torture that I suffer from daily. I showed that I reiterated that I could reach around and find the energy beams, which can be caused by riot and crowd control devices that have been around for years. And I also stated again that I had witnesses that have felt these targeted energy beams that were aimed at my body. Some of whom provided independent supporting statements, and in writing and in person with a Travis County Sheriff Sergeant. And I also attached and asked them to look at the old texts from Officer Marc McLeod, or someone who was impersonating them. You'd think that they would find that important, either a person impersonating a police officer, or a police officer fucking with someone over text messages and saying that they can do anything that they want. And also saying that he's not a cop when he is a cop. So, is it an impersonator? Is it the real guy? Who knows? And I thought that he had actually left APD because I got a bounced email from him, but that's because I put two C's in McLeod. I did correct that later on and did send him some emails later in 2019, and he still did not respond to that, which I find very suspect. There he goes saying, I will do what I want when I want. That's Officer Marc McLeod from the tactical team of the Austin Police Department, or someone impersonating him. Here's where I list these suspects. Two of them partially confessed to Red River Family Practice, or at least Dr. Lambeth was too much of a coward and led me on to make me think that they confessed to admitting to what they did. I also pointed out Jason Barrientos, which I had proof or damning evidence of two crimes of being in receipt of a stolen phone and hacking my Google account, which the detective of the stolen phone didn't find that to be important at all, and made comments about me being mentally ill. So apparently the mentally ill don't get served by the Austin Police Department, nor do these sane people. Here's the additional information on Officer Marc McLeod, with the screenshots attached there as well. Here's another suspect, Gavin, who filed a false police report. He was a manager at the Grove, and he and the maintenance man kidnapped my dog or participated in a prank like that, and filed a false police report and lied and said that I stole it from the maintenance garage. I stress that I did not suddenly develop schizophrenia and psychosis and multiple personality disorder at age 41 with no history of mental illness, plus 7 or 10 or 20 other neurological or physical diseases, and suddenly developed supernatural powers of ESP, and still experience unexplained phenomena like poltergeist, which I don't believe in. And then there's all the other related cases. So then I was thinking, I don't think they realize how around the clock this pain is, that it's not just some sporadic pain that I'm experiencing. I don't think they understand what I'm going through. So I decided to document pretty much around the clock on many days and send them, those videos around the clock. At first, I did some daily ones, and then I was like, no, I'm going to send it around the clock as I'm making these videos rather than doing a list. And then I sent them some previous videos that I had already started documenting all my pain. So, because I didn't think they were watching the channel, so I'm like, I'm going to send them the description of the video and a link to the video and a thumbnail of the video and make it as easy as possible for them to understand what I'm going through. I was like, there's no context over text messages or email, so like I'll show them that I'm in a sound state of mind, that I'm remaining calm, and that I'm doing sanity checks and demonstrating to them how I'm coming to the conclusion that this is an external force being that's causing my pain, and maybe that will give them the best opportunity to understand this. They're hitting the back of my neck pretty hard now. I can put my hand on here on my upper back, and I can feel a rapid pulse of electricity hit it, and at least partially block it from hitting my neck. So I feel that. I feel something coming there. I feel something there. Right there. Actually, my hand's hurting right there. Now my forearm is feeling it. And my upper arm is feeling it. So they're still hitting my head. Still suffering here. Still no response from APD or MPD. Or my dad is still suffering here. Wondering when help will ever arrive, which it probably never will. I can put my hand up like that, and I can feel my hand's in pain now because it's been blocking the targeted energy beam at least partially. Like my whole forearm is hurting a lot right now. So just as I was making that last video, or finishing that last video, they were like, you call it a migraine? We'll give you a migraine. Then all of a sudden my whole fucking face starts to hurt. So I just wanted to pause it there and point out again that the gangstalkers/terrorist said, we'll give you a migraine, and the pain increased in my head. So I don't have the power of premonition, and that is not my brain feeling an impending increase in pain that's about to happen from a future migraine, and then manifesting that sensation or that knowledge as voices in my head to warn me of the impending pain. That is virtually impossible. And again, I could not have known that the guy in 301 had my stolen phone or hacked my Google account. Dad. So, and I'd also like to point out that I can block the pain with my forearm and my hands, and sometimes my feet, as I'll show in almost every single one of these videos that were ignored. And it is basically over a year later from some of these videos. This was during the second phase of the suicide push. And I can block that with my hand, and I feel like something that's kind of like an electrical sleet, where it feels like it's like wrist. It just feels like there's like these tiny electrical particles hitting my hand, and now my wrist is hurting, my forearm's hurting. So they're still hitting my head back here. Right now they're hitting my stomach or belly, like right here. Right now my hand instantly feels warm. Now it doesn't. Now it feels warm. Now it doesn't. It actually feels cool. Right here, feels very warm. Right here, it doesn't feel as warm. So it feels kind of cool. I feel a little bit of body heat, but not like here. Right here, it's all of a sudden it's warm. And they're still buzzing my feet a little bit. It feels like I've got wet socks on, which I don't. But that's something that they do where they hit it with the beam, and then it feels like it's in like a static cloud kind of. But when I have socks or shoes on, it feels like I'm wearing soggy shoes or soggy socks. Just a great deal of pain. It just hurts like a motherfucker. And I can literally like lie here and put my hand back here. Usually I use my other hand when it's crossing under. I'll do something like this, and I can feel an electrical pulse hitting my hand. I feel one there. I feel one there. I can literally sit here like this, and I'll feel something hit my hand, and then my hand starts to hurt. And then while I do this, they'll move it around. So now I'm getting hit here. So they'll hit everywhere but my hand. My hand will get hit for a little bit, and it'll get hit off and on. But then they'll move it around. So I literally have to like start doing stuff like this. So right now my wrist hurts. Now it doesn't. My head's still getting pounded. It's the most painful thing that they've done to my head. They've literally brought me to tears. And right now, like, they're vibrating my leg. I feel like an energy current flowing through my leg. It's almost gone now. My feet are still feel like they're freezing. I've got socks on. It's not cold in here. Now my whole body is feeling like a chilling sensation, and they're causing false or electric goosebumps to start to form. I can feel a very strong electrical field or sensation and a pulsation on my hand. Now they're still hitting my head. They're just hitting my jaw, also causing me to clench it. I don't grind my teeth. I've never been a teeth grinder in my sleep or awake. And so they're doing that now. And so now I feel a whole pain right here in my jaw as I'm saying this that matches the pain that I was feeling up here. I can feel an electrical field, and my forearm's hurting, and I can feel something on my hand hitting it this way. I can feel something hitting, that definitely hurts my hand right there. And so I guess that's when I'm hitting the side of my head or my forearm. Fun. Now my head's getting pounded upon. It feels like someone's doing this, like all over my head, but primarily from here to here. And I can feel a warmth and something hitting my hand. So right now my balls are getting racked. I can put my hand over there, and I can feel my forearms getting. So right now it feels like my feet are being frozen and electrocuted. So they're just sitting here on the floor, and they're getting zapped pretty strongly with sharp electrical stimulation sensations. I'm putting my hand over it. My wrist is hurting now, although I think they're zapping my hand independently of that, and I can feel a targeted energy beam hitting my foot, and I can block it with my hand. So now they're hitting my back. It feels like something's going on my back. That's how they're moving it. So literally it feels like something's moving in a circle on my back, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like a massage, but it kind of feels like there's like I'm in some massage chair and there's something moving in a circle on my back, like it would never happen before, like right in the middle of my back, and it feels warm and it's causing an aching sensation. So as I was uploading that last video, it started hitting me here and hit me here, and then it caused, some twitching to happen. I never get twitches here. I've gotten the eye twitch a few times, sometimes when like you're tired or something and you get the like that weird eye twitch that like, stays like all morning long or for like a couple hours. I've gotten that before, like once in a blue moon. But literally like when they hit you, sometimes they can cause a muscle to twitch. So you get like cramps, or what feel like cramps, or twitching like in places like where you've never had a muscle cramp or a muscle twitch ever before. But they're hitting my head again, and now they've upped the pain, so now it hurts. It hurts from here to here, and they're also doing it on top. It hurts on top. So it does not feel good. And I can feel an electrical field when I wave my hand around. It kind of feels like old tube TVs when you turn them off or on. It just doesn't feel that strongly. Now my right arm's getting hit. I'm doing absolutely nothing but just playing this stupid game on my phone, and they're pounding my forearm. So my forearm is getting hit. It feels like someone's just like, it just feels like someone's like hitting it like that. Maybe without the force of that, but with the ache afterwards that you might feel with the after the impact. And I'm trying to feel for it. Oh, my back of my hand felt that. So they're hitting my head now, not so much as they were as I was walking back from taking Max out, but it feels like there's icy hot on my scalp, or it did feel like that. Now they're hitting my face with it right here. It feels like there's like icy hot like around this area, and they're moving it around. So it doesn't really hurt so much here, but it's annoying as fuck. And it is hurting my head. They're still hitting it. It feels like someone's going like kind of like that on it. And it is painful. So now they're nudging my penis, like literally, like I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting an erection. I'm not horny. I'm miserable. And I can literally feel my penis getting nudged. It literally feels like someone's taking their finger underneath my jeans and nudging my penis, causing it to move. It was literally moved, and there wasn't a change in temperature in here. It's not changing direction or anything. It literally was getting nudged, and they're saying, is that a sexual touch? Almost every single time that they touch me in a sexual way, whether or not they're doing the electrical nipple tweaks, or they're touching, or they're jolting my asshole, or my prostate, or they're crushing my balls, or they're buzzing my junk, or nudging my junk. They did this like almost every single day, multiple times a day for the last like 2 months in jail, and they've done it countless times since then. Their tagline is that a sexual touch? And sometimes they go, is that a sensual touch? But like every single time that they touch me in that way, they'll say, is that a sexual touch? Now they're crushing my sides, so it feels like someone's like pushing in on my sides, on both sides. And as I do that, I can feel my forearm almost feels like a numbing sensation. It feels like a squeezing, crushing sensation, sort of. It still feels kind of like an icy hot sensation on my forearm, but I think they're sort of stuck on my forearm now for a little bit. And as I'm talking, they're hitting my throat here too. But they're moving it around. I can feel like an energy beam. Oh, they just give me goosebumps too. They can do that too. They can give you chills. So now I feel like now I feel like my whole back feels an electrical shocking sensation that's very close to goosebumps. That wasn't exactly like goosebumps. They like to tweak it and make it more forceful and more strong. They can make it feel very painful. There have been times where literally when they did that and I was like crouched like that in pain. and they're also hitting my shoulder now. And oh, now my hand's hurting from blocking the targeted energy beam. So fun. I was uploading that last video. They were hitting my face with like it's like a fluttering sensation. It feels like there's a pressure in my eyes, and it feels like they're doing that. It's caused with my eyes open. It's causing my vision to waver like that. I don't have any problems with my vision. I had LASIK surgery, but everything was kind of going like just briefly. And I don't mean like everything was wavy. I just mean like just there was a slight jiggle to it. They've done more than that before, but that's what they're doing. They are hitting my chest, so it feels like there's icy hot on me, like right here. It feels like a very cold and a very cold sensation, a freezing sensation, and a burning sensation right here. I can put my hand here, and the back of my palm or the back of my hand feels that icy hot as well. And they're moving the beam around, so I can kind of block the shortness of breath for a little bit, but they're moving around quite a bit, but that kind of helps right there. But if I stop, when I do that, I'm literally like relaxing, and literally there's like something pushing down. But I'm feeling a squeezing right here and a pressure. So those targeted energy beams that they have can cause pressure. It can feel like a jab or a crushing sensation. But literally, and they literally like pushed me with it. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. But it felt like a squeezing and a crushing sensation or pushing down in there. And that was slightly cutting the circulation off to my hand. And literally my whole hand went numb just then. And then they also it's still kind of numb, and they're still hitting me at my near my elbow area. It literally feels like there's a force that's crushing or squeezing around just above my elbow or right around my elbow. So I'm feeling a slight pressure right here. I hesitate to use the term crush, but I mean it is crushing it lightly. I guess they stopped doing it. Okay, now it's back. I like to do that. And sometimes when I'm doing this or when I'm uploading it after I comment on it, or after I have commented on it, either while the video is still going or while I'm still uploading it, they'll do like this tapping against it. It'll be like a rapid tap. They'll change a pattern in it, just mocking me. You know, they just said they can get away with anything. They can do whatever they want. So, fun. Nice people. So, I'm sitting by the window here. They're hitting my mouth. And I've got like a little bit of a raw spot there. Not too bad. It doesn't hurt me to touch it. It's not even like, I don't even know if it's really a raw spot. It's like slightly, it doesn't feel, I mean, I've eaten food and it doesn't bother me, but they keep hitting that area with one of the sharp pinprick attacks. And I can do this, and it feels like there's like an electric sleet or something like hitting my hand. And my wrist is hurting. They moved the beam. They moved one of the beams to hit my crotch. It's still going. And by the way, my forearm still feels like it's put icy hot on it. And now it's starting to feel warm. But I can put my hand here and I can feel like an energy buzz to it. So, they just said we're gonna kick it up a notch. And it feels like I've got jolts of electricity going through the left side of my body primarily. So it's causing a slight increase in my adrenaline, I think, or I think they're trying to cause a panic sensation, but I don't feel that because I'm just numb to it now, emotionally. But I can feel my whole left arm feels like an energy field. Now they're hitting my abdomen, or my, I guess almost like my belly area. It's like to my chest and my belly. They're hitting me right here, they're hitting me here, and they're hitting me here with the targeted energy beams. I can feel right there, my hand hurts. Hand doesn't feel anything here. Now it feels cool, it feels normal. I put it here. I'm not even touching myself. It feels warm, and right there it feels a pain. It's hard to describe the pain. It almost feels like it's being, I guess, crushed, or it's basically being electrocuted. So now they're hitting my shoulders. They're hitting both my left and my right shoulder. I can reach here. I can feel for a targeted energy beam. It's moving around. I feel it there. It's literally causing my hand to move like just a little bit. They're moving it around. So I can do this and I can feel an electricity. So I'm getting my neck shocked right here. My feet are still getting buzzed and frozen. It is nice weather outside. It's not that cold in here. Certainly not enough to make my feet freezing. And I've got socks on. So they're moving around. I can feel in my hand. My hand's being shocked now and vibrated. So they're hitting the back of my neck too. I'm trying to block it. They're moving it around. They're hitting the back of my head now. And they're making all sorts of comments as they do so. Now they're crushing my throat a little bit. They're pushing against my throat, like right here. I can feel it actually now on my neck right here. It feels like someone's like squeezing it like this. I can put my hand up and move it around, and now it's hitting my face. But I can feel targeted energy beam. They're back to hitting my belly. They've been doing that on and off like all night and all morning. But I can put my hand in front of it and I can feel a targeted energy beam hitting my hand. And there's one hitting my arm too, like right here. Now I'm getting that sort of pinpricks and that sharp stabbing pain that I was feeling here. Now I'm feeling it here. And here, and now it's moving over here. I feel it here. And I just felt it in my hand. So I feel a targeted energy beam hit my hand. It also feels cool. It's giving it almost like a cooling sensation. Now my feet are getting shocked, and I can block it with my other foot. And my right foot's getting shocked. My left foot's getting buzzed, as I would say. So my left foot feels like it's vibrating or buzzing, and my right foot, and that's actually increased when I said that. That's not psychosomatic. And then my right foot, it feels, and it's not cold outside anymore. It's cool, but it's not cold. But it feels like it's freezing. It feels like, and I've got socks on, and I can put my other foot in front of it. Like, I can put my other foot like that and block it, and now my right foot feels, or then my left foot feels a coldness to it. It feels like a beam's hitting it, it's freezing it, and it feels like it's also being electrically shocked. So they're hitting my head here and here with, like, instead of the normal crush, they're doing like sharp praying. So it feels like there's like needles like going on this side of my head. It's very sharp. It's very painful. I can put my hand over here and I can feel an electrical field hitting my entire arm. I feel sharp pricks hit my hand. And they're making comments all the time, mocking me. They're zapping me on my foot, in my head, primarily my head. They're still getting me from here and around here, a little bit on the forehead too. I can feel an electrical pulse hit my hand right now. And it's, they're moving it down now. And it's blocking it from right here on my head. Pounding me in my back, like right below my right shoulder blade. They're also hitting me in my left forearm. And they're saying comments, like right when they start pounding my back, they said something like, how's that pounding in the back feel? So, the nightmare continues. So they are now hitting basically like right above the top of my ass crack with like a pinpoint. Almost feels like someone's stabbing me in the needle, like right above, like right at the right at my tailbone. Feels like someone's like doing that. I can put my hand back there and I can feel it being hit with an electrical beam or targeted energy beam. So they're pounding my head right now and the back of my neck. Well, they just shot the back of my neck. Now they started up again. They just did a whole narrative while I was out there playing with Max about how it's over, pretending that it's on every news station, or that it was going to be on the Dudley and Bob show, or the Audience at 1.5 with Max, using Dale Dudley's voice, because he's been on the soundboard for quite a while now, and also using my dad's voice on the soundboard and pretending that it's going to be over, acting like Robin was texting in her communications, but honestly that's not the case. They do this non-stop. It's pretty stupid and inhumane to pull one over on me. They constantly do these things where they act like they're going to get caught, and they're so confident in their ability not to get caught that they joke about getting caught. They joke about their family watching them in horror, and they literally act out. They do scenarios in which they pretend to be caught by their relatives, and they are literally pretending to be, and they're literally like saying the lines that their family might be saying to them, like, you don't have a family anymore, and I hate you, and like, you're disgusting, and I can't believe you would do this to someone, and you're never going to see me or the kids ever again, or now I know why you haven't been home in so long, or now I know why you've been so distant, and blah 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 blah. And they literally act out these scenarios. So now they're hitting my head again. They're rotating through the cold sensation and the non-cold, the sensation that doesn't have a temperature really to it. And they're hitting my scalp, and so I feel it from here and then all over. And I can put my hand here. I can feel a cold sensation on it. So now they're hitting my balls. It feels like my balls are getting racked right now, and they're making a comment about it. Once they started hitting it, they were like, "Your balls, blah 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 blah." So I can put my hand over my crotch. I can feel an electrical beam that just moved, hit my hand. They're still hitting my belly, my feet, and my head. But what caused me to start recording this video again is they were hitting my throat again, and they just started again right here. It feels like somebody's pressing down on my throat. I can put my hand here and feel an electrical beam. I can kind of feel one there, but I felt one more strongly over here, hitting my fingers. They're still hitting my belly. They're also hitting my feet. My feet are in socks, and it's not that cold in here. And they're doing that freeze ray where they shock your hands or your feet or your ears, and and they're shocking my ears now that I say that. It's not psychosomatic. It feels like my feet are freezing, and I don't have circulation issues with my feet. I can cover my foot, my left foot. I can tuck it under my right leg. I can feel shocks hitting my right leg. And now they're hitting the bottom of my left foot. It's sticking out a little bit. So that's fun. And as I finished that last recording, they hit my head here and here, my forehead here. They're moving around as I'm talking to you. Not that anybody's watching except for trolls. But I can do this, and I can feel an electrical beam hitting my hand. And usually my forearm, oh, there goes my forearm. So I feel it hitting my forearm too. So they're still hitting me in my belly. So I can put my hand here, and I can feel an electrical beam hitting my hand. So now they're hitting my head, like right here, right here. I can put my hand out like that, and my forearm is sore from the electrical charges going through it, or whatever. I can feel a pulse on it, and I also feel like constant energy flow going through it. So now they're hitting my balls, and they made a comment about like your balls, blah 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 blah. Making a comment about that. Feels like I'm being racked. I can put my hands down here. I can feel something hit my hand. Has a warmth to it, and an electrical sensation or electrical field to it. Still pounding my belly. Again, I can put my hand right here, and my forearms getting hit with an electrical or targeted energy beam. They're also hitting my chest. It feels like there's someone pushing down my chest. They just stopped doing it right now, but I think they're moving from my belly to my chest, and it was causing a shortness of breath. And they're still hitting my head. So they're still pounding me in my belly. I can put my hands over, and my forearm's getting shocked now. And they're pounding my head too. I can put my hand on the back of my neck, which they're hitting, and I can feel electrical pulses literally like moving my hand. Now they're shocking my neck, my traps, and my shoulder and upper arm. So I'm lying here in bed, and they're hitting my belly quite a bit and my head, and it's giving me sort of like a nauseous sensation. I can put my hand around, and I can feel an electrical stimulation on it. It feels horrible, and they're making comments the whole time. So they're hitting me in my abdomen right now. So it feels like I've done like 100,000 crunches. I can put my hand here, and I can feel electrical pulses hit my hand. So now they're pounding my back pretty hard, so my back really fucking hurts. And I can reach back here, and I can feel a strong electrical pulse hit my hand. It's very painful, and they're also hitting my chest with it too. It's almost causing a nauseous feeling. And now the right side of my neck is being electrocuted. I can put my hand here, and now my forearm and my hand are being electrocuted. So they're hitting my shoulder a lot right now. I'm just lying here, and they're pounding my shoulder. My shoulder's on fire and getting electrocuted. Okay, now they are, each time I keep waking up, they keep pounding my head. So I don't know if they've been pounding it while I've been asleep, but I can put my hand up here and I can block it from my head, at least partially. I can feel it on my hand. I can feel an electrical current running through my hand or hitting my hand. And now they're doing the electrical nipple clicking, so it feels like someone's tweaking my nipples. But it's them shocking it. It does not feel good. It constantly causes me to do this. And they just said, is that a sexual touch? So they're still hitting my neck and my back. They actually have escalated it, and they're hitting it pretty fucking hard. I can put my hand right there and I can feel the electrical beam hitting it, and when it hits my hand it hurts. So now they're hitting my feet and they're hitting my crotch. They're doing the thing to my feet that makes my feet curl. Sometimes it makes my feet like do that, and I feel like a buzzing around my feet. And they're also hitting my crotch as well. Now they are hitting my eyes, so I can put my hand up here and I can feel a targeted energy beam hitting my hand. And if I let go, it hits my eyes, and it's causing an aching sensation, and it's also causing like a burning sensation as well. Now they're shocking my feet a little bit more than they were when I was making the video. They're particularly focusing on my left big toe. So they're still pounding my head and the back of my neck especially. It feels like my head's under the heat lamp a little bit, and it feels like it's being electrocuted, and the back of my neck feels like it's being pounded. I cover it, and I'm literally feeling painful electrical shocks hitting my hand. And they're also hitting my chest, and it's causing the shortness of breath right now that I didn't have 10 seconds ago. They're hitting me here now. It's very painful. I feel like almost my whole body is like being electrocuted and is under a heat lamp now. They've increased the temperature of it, and they're burning my throat now. Head's still hurting, my neck's still hurting, they're still zapping it. They're still bringing the heat lamp. They're just nudging my penis a couple times. And again, I'm not getting excited, I'm not getting aroused. There's not a change in temperature, my penis is not growing or shrinking. They literally were like, it felt like someone's going like poke it like underneath my pants and nudging my penis, literally causing it to move significantly. Now they are pounding both my arms near the elbow, like right at the right below my tricep, near the elbow on both arms, and I just like got out of it there, and I feel it again. They're pretty good at tracking this stuff. I can feel pretty much all over, like especially right here. I feel a static field. I feel a targeted energy beam. And here, it hurts even more. So they got the heat lamp on me, and it's nice weather. It's not hot in here. I was feeling fine like 2 minutes ago, and then about a minute ago, I instantly felt feverish and like I had the flu or something, which is something that they could mimic. They did it to a cellmate of mine, Mike, who was in 204C, who I listed in my witnesses or no other victims, because he was technically a victim, and he was feeling sick one day, and I and another cellmate, the guy that was in 204A, hovered our hands over him, and I felt the beam like hitting his head and one hitting his belly, and so did my cellmate. He found them in the same places. He could feel like the energy beams, and the moment that I put my hands over his head, he was lying like this. I put my hand here, or my hand, I think I used both hands or one hand, which I can't really remember. He was like, oh, I instantly feel better. So they've taken the heat off a little bit. They're still hitting the back of my head and neck, which I've been doing off and on all day long. It hurts like a motherfucker. It's miserable. As I was uploading that last video, they did like the frozen feeling and the frozen aching feeling in my ears, and now they're doing the aching right here. They're hitting my face right now on my forehead, and they're still hitting my forearm. So wonderful people. And as I uploaded that last video and I said it didn't really hurt, but it felt cold and like it was buzzing, it does hurt now. So I do feel pain in my balls or crotch, and when I do this, I feel a pain in my wrist and forearm. So now they are zapping my junk, so it feels like there's a cool sensation and a buzzing around my crotch right here, and my wrist just hurt, although I think that's a subrevine because it's not really hurting my crotch, at least not right now. They're also buzzing my feet, and that increased as I started this video, or as I was talking about them buzzing my junk. So they're zapping my belly now, and pretending like it's going to be over, using the soundboard with lots of different people, saying that they're leading the database of all the answers to all my open questions, and they keep building up to a climax over and over and over again, and coming up with ideas for their doom, which is like the dumbest thing in the entire world. But they're zapping that. They're zapping my head on and off, my arms, my feet are buzzing a little bit. So, but they're hitting my belly most of all right now, and my head. And so they're now zapping my belly. My forearm feels warm, and my wrist hurts. My forearm hurts now. They're zapping my chest. It was right at the end of the video. It's causing my breathing to be shallow like they just did now, and they're burning my throat. And I do not have acid reflux or heartburn right now. I've actually never gotten heartburn in my life. So they're still hitting me. They're still patting my head and my neck. I can feel it with my hand right there. Just my wrist and forearm is getting hit, or we're getting hit. They're constantly going over like it's over, and they're playing sound clips of things that are open questions that they have pretty much all the answers to, but refuse to give up. So that's fun. So they've been hitting my head, and they've been zapping the side of my neck. It's very painful. I can put my hand up here, and I can feel painful electrical shocks hit my hand. So, and my neck still, I'm not blocking all of it. Because that blocks some of it. So, no longer feel it in my neck, or the most of my neck. And I feel it in my hand. I feel painful electrical shocks. I can feel them there too. So, wonderful people. So I fell asleep for a couple hours, I think. And I woke up and they're still getting me. So the back of my neck's still getting pounded. It hurts like a motherfucker. And they're still at it. And I can feel electricity hitting my hand right now. So now they're hitting my throat, like right there. And they're kind of doing the icy sensation on it too. I can feel my fingers are buzzing right now with it, and they kind of hurt with electrical stimulation, electrical field to it. They're also nudging my junk, and then they also said right after they did that, or as they did that, they said, "Is that a sexual touch?" Like they always do. So they're still pounding the back of my neck. While I'm playing some stupid game on my phone, I can feel a strong electrical current hit my hand. It hurts there, and they're also hitting my face, and they're hitting my eyeballs too, so it's causing like A very unpleasant sensation. Now they're freezing my feet again and shocking them. So feels like my both feet are buzzing slightly, and they're zapping my big toe, and they're zapping my right pinky toe, sort of near there. So they're still pounding my back right now, and they're hitting my face as I am recording this now, and they're hitting my head right here. I can feel electricity hitting my hand. I can feel a targeted energy beam. Now they're hitting my chest, and as you can probably tell by the change in my voice, it's causing a shortness of breath. So it feels like there's a weight on me. I can feel electricity hitting my hand. I can feel electricity above me, and I can hear them talking about it. So, not mentally ill, not neurological or other condition. So now they're jolting my asshole, and like I literally feel it going rump, 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 and I do not have any problems with my asshole normally. They are still hitting my head. Low battery. They're still hitting my forearm, so my left forearm and my hand feel not numb's not quite the right word. It just feels kind of cold, and like it's being shocked. And my feet are being buzzed, and my feet feel frozen, even though they're under a blanket, and I'm wearing socks, and the window's closed, and there's no AC on right now. It's probably like 70 degrees in here, but they're making me feel like it's a different temperature. They're hitting my back. It's really hurting. I can feel an energy beam right there hitting my hand. It feels like my hand's buzzing. So, back's getting pounded. I'm getting the micro migraines or the on again, off again migraines. It's like they're hitting me all over. I can feel it with my hands. Once again, it's not even touching the wall. I feel a vibration or a buzz or humming. I still hear like a high pitched frequency tone, buzzing, whirring coming from there. And they're zapping my junk, they're zapping my private parts. Then they're nudging it too. They're like nudging my penis. Well, not right now, but they just a couple minutes ago, they were nudging my penis like bit by bit, and they're going, "Is that a sexual touch?" So, fun. My ongoing torture 24/7, and no one cares, and no one's doing anything to help me. So I'm literally sitting here, and my left arm is literally vibrating. They're still hitting my head. I try putting pillows. I keep like doing this and dipping down because I keep hitting my neck. I keep doing this and this and this, and I got my hand under here. My hand's vibrating. My hand's being hit. Put my arm out like this. My left elbow instantly feels hot, and it feels like there's an electrical current running through my arm. So now they're hitting the other side of my neck. I can do this, and now my hand hurts. Now my upper arm and shoulder hurt. I can put my hand up like that. Ooh, that hurts like a motherfucker. I can feel my hand and my arm being electrocuted, literally. My face is actually being hit now.
I think they're hitting Max too. He keeps getting up and moving around, and usually when he lays down, he can just lay down, even if I get in bed, even if I get in and out of bed. He keeps moving around uncomfortable, and they keep talking about how they're hitting him and now they're torturing him too, which is infuriating. But I can do this, and I can feel my hands being electrocuted right now. Not as strongly as it was before when I was trying to find where the beam is coming from. They're moving around a lot, but my face is being hit, and I can do this, and my forearm's being hit. I've been still pounding my head and my neck pretty hard. I can put my hand right here, or is it here? There's a beam coming from above, and the one coming from, I think, the side coming from like here at a steep angle. They're trying to make me think that it's the person on the other side of the bed, and that's the one reason why these people are so dangerous. And it's because not only do they try to drive people towards hurting themselves or hurt, but they also try to drive people towards hurting other people. They're trying to make me think that it's the people over there, which I'm sure it's not. But I can put my hand here, and my whole arm almost it's not a numbing sensation, but it's like my whole arm was being electrocuted. And when I had my hand up against it, it felt like literally something was stabbing through the middle of my hand, like a knife was stabbing through the middle of my hand. It's the only way I can describe it. And it feels like it's being electrocuted. It's very, very painful. And but my hand is still hurting from it, and my hand feels very cold as well. And there's up in my penis now, so they're like, is that a sexual touch? Which is what they say almost every single time they do something sexual on me. And they're also shocking the shit out of my feet and freezing my feet, so I feel like they're literally frozen. And it is cool outside, but like I have my hand up in the gap in the window right here, and my hand doesn't even feel half as cold as my feet do. My feet feel like they're being shocked, and they feel like they're being frozen. So they've been pounding right here on my head and neck, and I've been trying to block it, but they've got more than one beam on me, I think, and they're going woo. I can't sit here all night and do this. It's hitting me from here, and it's going all the way up to here, and I can feel a cool energy beam hitting my hand right there, and it feels like there's more than one hitting me. They're still hitting my neck, and I can reach behind me, and I can feel a targeted energy beam, probably from a riot or a crowd control device, or a device used in hostage/crisis scenarios. And if I turn, it sticks on me. So if I turn really quickly, I can feel it, but it catches up to me because it's probably coming from above up there. So my hand feels like it's being mildly electrocuted. So right now they're hitting me in the head. It feels like my head is in a pressure cooker right now. It immediately felt a lot warmer, so it feels like it's under a heat lamp, and I feel all this pressure around it. And I can put my hand up here, and I can't relieve all the pressure because I don't know where it's coming from, but I feel like my whole forearm right now feels like it's being electrocuted, and it hurts, and it feels there's a throbbing to it. So they're still pounding my back. They haven't stopped doing it. They're still buzzing my feet too. My head feels a little bit better. I don't feel that pressure cooker at least as much. I still feel like a buzzing around here. I put my hand up here, and my hand's buzzing. My hand's not buzzing here. My hand's buzzing here. It's not imagined. I have to lean back to do it, but if I do it quickly enough, it fucking sucks. It's like right in the middle of my back. I feel an electrical field, electrical beam hitting my hand now. So right now they're fucking with my head again. They did something to where it was kind of making my head feel like it was going like that. I can put my forearm up with hands, my arms, and I can feel the similar sensation. So right now my crotch is getting zapped, so it literally feels like my penis is being mildly electrocuted right now, but they're buzzing. I would say they're buzzing it. It feels like it's resting against a vibrator, kind of. I can cover it with my hand, and I feel a buzz. I feel a buzz in the chair. I feel an electric current hitting my hand there. Now they're hitting me here and here. And when I cover them, they get a relief from the pain. It literally feels like something's crushing it or stabbing it. I feel like a stabbing sensation right there, just all of a sudden. So they're still pounding my neck. I'm trying to feel for the. I can feel electricity hitting my hand. It's stronger there, but they were hitting my face also, and it felt warm, and it felt like little pinpricks were hitting my eyes, almost like there was like so, like dirt or sand being sprinkled in my eye. It was painful, very irritating as well. I'm putting my hand up here, and I can feel a throbbing sensation in my hand. And just as I was about to record this video, I could feel the same sensation in my hand, blocking it from my eyes. So I'm feeling my throat get crushed or squeezed. If I do that, I don't feel it so much. I feel a strong electrical current hitting my hand right there. If I let go, I instantly feel something here.
59 p.m. This one has lots of colors in it. The video was done at 6:30 p.m. I had lots of caps in this. I even said, "Do I need to add more exclamation points or question marks?"
They're pushing against me, causing me to literally like almost fall backwards. It's not like a strong shove, but I felt them push me more strongly before. I can do this with my hand, and I can feel a force pushing against my arm. It's actually kind of hurting right now. My whole forearm and my hand hurts. But they're literally trying to get me to push out to lie on my back again so they can crush my throat, which they can do when I'm vertical anyway. So I was getting shocked on my lower back pretty strongly. I put my hand on here. I feel a very strong electric field right here, or energy beam. It seems to be going all along right here. Like they're shooting it at that angle, maybe there's multiple beams and they're just faking it. But my hand is basically almost numb right now. It's being electrocuted as we speak. So they're doing the electric nipple tweak where they're literally shocking my nipples, particularly the right one. And I'm literally having to do this. And I was lying here like this and in the same position here pretty much, and I'm covering my nipple with my arm right now, and now my bicep and tricep or my upper arm is getting shocked like a motherfucker, and it hurts.
So I got a voicemail from Officer Gaines one day after sending these emails out, many of these emails out. And so APD likes to throw the mental health crisis team at people instead of interviewing suspects or even calling the victim back. And they kept saying that they didn't have enough evidence. And I kept saying that, hey, electrocution is not a sign of mental illness. I don't need mental health resources. Surprisingly so. I said that I had witnesses and other victims, and I had proof of this. I had said that I had people that had felt these energy beams aimed at my feet and on other people, and that there were other victims going through this. I mentioned that in Travis County Correctional Facility, I was told that when I was moved to the crazy ward, you shouldn't have told on us. I find that very important, and they didn't find that important at all. And he kept saying that he had his all my emails and blah, 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 blah. And he kept saying that they don't think that there's enough evidence. It's really strange when you don't think you have enough evidence when there's witnesses that have gone on official public record with Travis County Sheriff's Department, multiple victims and witnesses. And when I have proof of some of these crimes, and when I have a suspect that's a police officer from the tactical unit, they didn't find that very interesting at all. They didn't think that there was enough to follow up on. And again, I replied to him, electrocution is not a mental illness. And so I just continued with the emails to everyone.
So my feet keep getting hit with these shocks that cause me to have to like flex or kick the muscle. I had to put Max over there because when he was here, he was kicking up a storm, and I had to sort of like lay my side and sort of like curl my legs around him, and I kept feeling these shocks hit my legs, and then he was still kicking because they're coming from sort of all angles, and if I hooked it over the edge of the bed, I felt a targeted energy beam hit it. My feet feel cold. My feet are in socks. My feet are under the blanket, and they still have like a frozen feeling to them. So now they're doing the electrical nipple tweaking, so my nipples are being shocked. I just faded away, not entirely, but a little bit as I started recording this. I put my hand over here and I can feel electrical pulses hit it, and my nipples don't feel as cold as they did before. So after those last two videos, when I was uploading them each time, they increased the shocks and the freezing sensation to my feet. They are pounding the back of my neck right now. I can reach back there and I can feel electricity hitting my hand. And now they've kicked it up a notch that I'm talking about it. So, they are zapping my feet now again. It feels like both my big left toe, it feels like someone's grabbing it and holding it. Now it's stronger. It feels like it's being electrocuted mildly. They're primarily focusing more on my left foot. Now it's increasing. I'm talking about it. So now my whole foot feels like it's like sitting on something that's vibrating, and the floor is not vibrating. Go figure. I can put it up here for like a split second. I didn't feel anything, and then a split second later, the targeted energy beam hits it, and now my other foot is feeling it. I can put my hand right here. I feel something mildly on my hand, just like on my foot. So now they're back to shocking my neck again, which they pretty much do all day long, on and off, and my back. My hand's slightly buzzing right now. I'm just sitting here and my nipples are getting the electric nipple tweak, and I cover it with my arm, and my forearm is getting shocked now, and it feels slightly cold. That is not a mental illness, that is not a neurological disease. And they start hitting my back again, which they're doing now, and I can feel electricity hitting my hand, although they're dodging it a lot now. They were also making my crotch itch, because they can make you itch with these things when they electrocute you with them. They did that. They're also doing it to my ass crack and my asshole. It feels like there's tiny little pinpricks of electricity flowing through my asshole, and it makes you itch. And they're also doing it to my crotch, and I covered my crotch with my arm and my forearm, and right here it felt like I was being electrocuted. They are pounding my head tonight, and my neck. They're hitting me primarily here, up to here, but they're also hitting my face. It feels like someone is stabbing me in the neck right now, and my arm now feels like there's electricity moving through it. My hand just felt a sharp pain on it. You know, my shoulder felt a sharp pain. So this is a fucking nightmare. I'm still being gangstalked and terrorized and tortured. Right now they're pounding my back very hard. It feels like someone's like punching my back. And they just did it under my right shoulder blade more strongly now. So the gangstalking terrorists are zapping my asshole now. So I'm not incontinent. I don't have a problem with holding my asshole tight or have it being normally tight and closed. And my asshole's literally like going like when they're hitting it. And they're saying as they're hitting it, they're telling me like I just made him shit his pants, or no, and then another person was like, you know, you almost did. We didn't do it. You didn't do it. We almost did it. And I can put my hand down here, and I feel an electrical surge going through my hand. So it causes muscles to reflex. That is not a mental illness. I am not imagining that. So as I was playing with Max outside, they were zapping my asshole, and they were zapping my stomach as well, and my lower back. Instantly I felt pains in my lower back and in my belly, and I felt like it was on fire. They were also getting my nipples earlier. They like to do this thing that I call the electrical nipple tweak that I posted about, where it literally feels like someone's tweaking your nipples. And they're doing it now as I say that, like they always do. I covered it with my forearm like this, and they're actually replicating the scenario right now, slightly. I did this, and my whole forearm burned and felt like it was being electrically shocked. Right now they're buzzing, well, they're doing all that, and they're buzzing my feet. So, and they're tracking my feet too. So kind of got Walmart feet right now, but right there, my wrist hurts. My hand feels a slight electrical field. They're doing it very mildly right now. I feel an electrical beam right there with my hand. So, I am getting shocked on my feet to the point where my feet are curling involuntarily. I do not suffer from restless leg syndrome or anything like that. They are zapping my right nipple, and when I cover it, the back of my hand is getting shocked. And they keep hitting my face. So they keep hitting. It's focusing very well. Okay. So they're heating my face as well. And this noise back here it's not normal camera noise. I can see that with my eyes. Now I don't know if that's the lens of the camera and my eyes being shocked and it looks fuzzy, so I don't really know if that fuzz is actually right there. So now I'm getting electric shocks to my asshole again. This time it's sharper. It's not causing my asshole to like pucker or to contract, but it definitely hurt. So I think they just stopped doing them. I can reach below the chair. I can feel electricity hitting my hand, literally. Pounding on my back now, so kind of in the middle of my back, a little bit towards the right, sort of below my right shoulder blade. It feels like someone is like jabbing me with like, it's bigger than a thumb, but it's kind of like someone's jabbing their thumb into my back. I do not have any back issues. There's nothing wrong with my back. I didn't sleep on my back wrong. It's perfectly fine. It was perfectly fine 2 minutes ago, and now it's not. And I'm just sitting in a chair. And there, my hand just felt a pain, and I feel a very strong electrical current right here. And now my wrist just hurt when I did that. That is not a mental illness. That is not neurosyphilis. That is nothing but cops behaving badly, using devices that they should have never been given access to. And now they're zapping my asshole. And they're making comments on that. You like getting zapped in the asshole. And I'm doing this now, and I'm feeling an electric current. It's close. It's almost on the edge of feeling like sharp pinpricks, but it's not pleasant. They are getting my throat, and they're moving around, so it's kind of hard to block. I don't know where it's coming from, but I do know when I put my hand up a moment ago, about here, it was hurting and feeling electrical current. I'm still feeling an electrical current now. It's not hurting as much. Oh, ow, motherfucker. Yeah, that hurt me right here. That felt like someone stabbed me in the arm with a knife. So that was painful. They're literally shocking my asshole right now. I literally feel pinpricks on my asshole. When I was taking a shit just now, this is something they did in jail for like 2 months straight, I believe. Um, this is gonna be too much information for some people, but I like to have wet wipes. I'm too poor right now to afford wet wipes, so I was just wetted the toilet paper, and anytime I did this in jail too, I would wet like one or two, usually just like one like wad or like whatever of toilet paper, and have that ready for like near the end of the movement. And anytime I use the wet one, it would shock my asshole like a motherfucker. It's not the strongest that they've shocked it. When I was at the Manor house, they literally shocked it where it literally felt like a taser. But this was very close. It literally felt like I was being tased in the asshole. They are pounding my back like a motherfucker right now. I can reach back here, and my hand feels like it's being electrocuted. My hand and my feet are being vibrated and shocked right now. Right now it feels like the floor is rumbling. And if I put my hand on the floor, away from my feet, it is not vibrating. I have Max there under the blanket. They were shocking him, and he was tossing and turning and not in a chasing bunny rabbits way and not in a normal way. Except it's been normal with this shit. And I reached over by him and I saw, or I felt, targeted energy beam. Let's see if I can still feel it here. So, right now, my forearm is hurting and my hand is getting shocked as well. Now they're shocking my asshole again. I can reach behind me. I can feel, now my hand hurts. Now my forearm hurts. Now it's starting to my shoulder again. There, I just farted probably because of what they're doing. I feel a strong electrical current hitting my hand there. And they're joking about it. And they're laughing about it. They're making fun of it.
And so finally, after all these emails, my dad responds, probably not by watching any of the videos, and he kept saying that he still thought it was okay for Manor Police Department to rip me out of bed. Let's count the number of emails that my dad ignored and the number of videos that he ignored, where I show myself in a sound mind and a sound body. And where I demonstrate literally in most of those videos that I can block the targeted energy beams with my hands, and that I have witnesses that have felt them as well. And just because Tim didn't feel that on one occasion, in a poor test of trying that, that it doesn't mean that the other people that felt them should be discounted. His logical circuits were obviously failing. So let's count the number of emails that my dad had ignored until he sent that response, which was in no way a response to the videos at all, since he didn't watch them at all. So I think we're up to 45 or 44. So he ignored 44 videos just in that period of time, not to mention the other videos that I'd made before then. So that's what the kind of person he is. He's a disgusting piece of shit. And his logical circuit's failing. Now, it's not entirely his fault because he's probably being gangstalked as well, or was being gangstalked. But then, you can only be understanding to a certain extent, But in any case, he thinks it's okay to be ripped out of your bed when you're being quiet and when the police had already left there an hour earlier. So that's the kind of person he is. He thinks it's just okay for the police to come and rip you out of bed, even though that's totally illegal and it's a basic human rights violation. They're not allowed to do that if you're not a harm to anyone else or yourself, which I was not, clearly. And then we go back and forth about, we just argue back and forth. This is how things went every few months. It's so stressful to him, being that far away, and he has to deal with my, dilemma, once or twice a year. And then maybe a few rants and email, which, wouldn't be that way if he hadn't ignored him and hadn't, broken his promises and gone back on investigating these cases. But that's the kind of person he is. He expects like a person that's being a victim of terrorism to hire their own private investigator, but then take that budget away and add other constraints to it that don't apply and are inapplicable and weren't part of the original arrangement, and then are met anyway, and then still doesn't do that. So I still send him attachments as well. I reminded him of where my phone was located, right outside 301 or inside it, and that all these other crimes, which she doesn't give a shit about. If my mom was around, she would have made sure every single one of those things was investigated, no matter what. And this would have been over in 2017. So I went on with the emails.
So they're crushing like my entire body right now. They've been doing this for like the past half hour or hour. It feels like there's an incredible weight pounding down on my back. Not repeatedly, but it feels like someone's just smashing me on my back. I can do this, and my entire arm is electrocuted, and it gives me some relief, but either they have multiple beams on me, or it's really hard to breathe right now. But now I have like an instant migraine. Now my migraine's gone. My hand is being electrocuted right now. I just want to do a quick journal. Just currently in bed, and the non-schizophrenic voices again that foretell the future and foretell things that I don't have in my brain to even come up with. So it's not schizophrenia. For those people that don't listen to a thing I say, they're joking about like the choking sensation that they're giving me, and they still are a little bit. I literally felt like a pressure going from here I know it's a bad movement to make. But like from here to here, I felt pressure. It's not the worst time that they've choked me. Now I'm getting strong electrical shocks, like right here on my neck. Also, it's like a sunburn, but with the electrical shock sensation to it. And I can cover it with my hand. And then this hand was getting shocked. So, out of my head, not neurological, not a mental illness, Dad. I was sitting down to use the toilet just now, and as I'm sitting there, doing my thing, electrical shocks all down my back and on my side. I'm hearing a high-pitched tone that's like more of a buzz or a whine. At the same time that it started, I started seeing like kind of like a strobe light effect in my eyes, and felt a whole like all over my head, and I just felt electrical pricks all over my hand. This pain is like so fucking horrible. It's awful. Now it's on my forehead, and they're doing something that's like the heat lamps on my fucking face. It literally feels like my nose and my eyes are on fire. I'm like right here, like all right here. It just feels like it's on fire. I can literally feel these sensations with my hands. So I got a migraine. Right now they were also just zapping my junk. I had was lying on my back, playing a game on my phone, trying to relax with this migraine going on, and they started zapping my junk, and I was able to block it. Still getting the migraine up and down. Getting a lot of shocks through my neck. My upper back was getting shocked, and just getting upper back pain right now. I was able to literally like put my hand under, like between my shoulder blades, and I can feel an electrical pulse. Another hit in my chest, making it a little bit harder to breathe. Migraines continue, but they're pushing against my throat really hard right now. It's very disconcerting. It literally feels like someone's like pushing like right below my Adam's apple, like right here, and it feels like a constant pressure of about like that. But it's borderline painful right now, and they're also putting like the cold burn on it. It's literally making the tissue underneath my skin. The skin feels warm, but on the inside, and then on the inside of my throat, it feels like I've eaten ice cream or something. Like it feels cold. It's like a cold burn, which is a which is a feature that can be accomplished by one or more of crowd control devices. This is very, very uncomfortable. It still feels like someone's pushing against it, and it still feels really cold. Keep zapping my junk over and over again. They're getting my neck and my shoulders and my traps right now. And I was turned over on my side, and then I could again still feel something like between me and the mattress. I was like, put my hand like over the edge of the side of the mattress and felt an electrical current. And I put my hand between my side like this. I was like that, and it felt like my hand was like going like my hand was literally like feeling this and shake, and it was like literally moving. Starting to get a like headache, migraine right here. Now I'm feeling the pulsing on my hand. My hand is definitely hurting now. And I feel some sort of like rapid pulse in it. But like my hand is literally hurting now. Now they're also moving down to my forehead. I definitely feel something. I feel like a pressure against that. And now it hurts. My forearm is also hurting. Right now they're zapping my head, face, and here they're going to move it. I've been zapping my sides, my chest, my belly quite a bit. I feel like I have a slight burning sensation on the whole upper part of my body. My ears are burning right now, and they're migrating it. They're moving it around now as I talk about it. That's not psychosomatic, Dad. This is actually happening. I'm literally being tortured, and you're not doing anything about it but treating me like shit. The burning sensation on my skin has increased. They've also been doing that itch thing on me a lot, particularly on my lower back, or actually like the top part of my basically right at the top of my butt crack, which I love to attack. But I know that they fuck with Max. I know. I can tell him that he tosses and turns sometimes in a way that's not like a dog normally tosses and turns. I can tell when he's uncomfortable. I can tell when he's in pain or discomfort, and he's some nights he goes through the same stuff that I go through. They're doing this thing where they're like when I can put my hand feel an electric field and a weight to it, and sometimes a thumping or like a pulsation, but it's hitting my back, it's hitting my head, it's hitting my fucking face, it's hitting my whole body. It's causing me to be way more agitated than normal, and to sound more agitated than I am. I mean, I'm very agitated, but it's hard to sit still with this because you got electricity flowing through you for one thing, but then this burning sensation. It feels like I'm in front of a heat lamp that I'm just trying to like avoid, and I'm walking around the whole fucking hotel room like doing like this. They're attacking my chest now too, making it hard to breathe a little bit. They'll shut the fuck up, but they haven't done that for 2.5 years at least. Oh, they've been hitting the middle of my back between the shoulder blades where like can't really reach, like, you know. I lay down in bed and relax, but they keep fucking with my feet, all on my face. They're making me want to do that like over and over again mildly. They can hit the throat or nose in a certain way and it vibrates, and it makes you have the sensation that you gotta do that over and over again. They're doing something to my legs and feet that they've done many times, where it feels like I have restless leg syndrome, and I don't suffer from that. It feels like I have to kick them, or like it gives me like the sensation of, and I can block it with one foot. Like if I feel on one foot, I can put the other foot like over it, like in the air, and like that foot will feel it, and the foot that was on the bed doesn't feel it. So whatever. They're hitting my neck on the back, so it feels like I'm strained, and I got the pillow like folded, so I'm not like straining. I'm not pulling up. I'm not pulling up like this. Constantly pounding it. I can feel it when I put my hand over it. Right now, they keep zapping my chest and my nipples, particularly. Is that a sexual touch? They just said. And I'll keep doing this because like they keep like, it's like someone's tweaking your nipples. They're also getting my neck, my chest, and specifically, particularly my nipples, and they're zapping my junk, and they're doing it right now. But I can cup it, cup everything, and I can feel things hitting my hand, and I can still sometimes feel things hitting my my dick or my balls or the surrounding area. Now they're hitting my prostate, so it's really interesting that these things can go underneath the tissue and hit particular things. So there's that in my prostate right now. So thanks a lot, Dad. You fucking let me down again. Chest, and I think they're getting my back too. Yeah, they're hitting my back too, and they're hitting me with something that's like, it's making me very agitated, and I'm feeling a pulse on my hand right now. It's like, okay, my forearm hurts. I feel pulses in my shoulder. I feel warmth. My whole body feels agitated and antsy. I feel a slight heat wave on my face right now that comes and goes. I still feel they're going through the whole demo mode of everything. They're getting my junk, they're getting my legs. My whole body just feels like I have to like do this over and over again. I'm feeling very antsy. I feel like there's an electrical field all around me. My whole body's like feeling this. I'm feeling a heat wave, and sometimes the freeze beam on my face off and on. They're still getting my nipples and my chest. They're hurting me like a motherfucker. My head's getting pounded. I'm getting like the heat thing. Also getting like a pressure thing in my ears and all over my body. I was just crying a moment ago. It's just like, this is just too much. And they're doing this thing that makes it like, it feels like it's hitting me right in the forehead right here, and it just makes you go like this, and it makes you even do that even harder. They're fucking hitting my face right now in my skull. Right now I'm feeling, it just feels like things are hitting the palm of my hand, and I feel that all around. It's like a thumping, but it's more than just a single thump. It feels like multiple thumps. In my upper back, my traps, my neck, and now my left shoulder, now my right shoulder. Oh, there goes my right shoulder. sending something through my whole fucking body, where like they feel like they're being shocked at like a mild level that's causing me to be extremely antsy. They're hitting my dick. It's like I can't stop it. I can block it partially. I can feel it in my hand. Dad, of course, you're not going to watch this video anyway, and if you do, you're going to turn it off after, just because you heard something that was that insulting, because I'm talking to you this way, and you're so upset with me that you have to turn the video off. You can't watch it any further. When I have every right to be mad at you guys, and you have zero right to be mad at me. They're still zapping my dick. I put my hand on there, and my hand feels an electrical current going through it, and now they've increased it to where it hurts. So, oh, now it doesn't. Now it doesn't feel that. That's not in my head, Dad. Right now, they're shocking my feet, and it feels like someone's pressing down on the tops of my shoes, and it's actually getting stronger. It feels like a burning sensation also. That doesn't normally accompany that sensation when they do that. They normally do that without a temperature, and it just feels like someone's stepping on the top of my shoes. Right now, I feel a burning sensation. I feel like this little like crackle, like a lamp on my face. Not exercising. Heater's not on. The AC's actually on with window open. It's very cold outside. It's actually going to be, I think, 20 degrees tomorrow. Yeah, and they're still zapping my dick. So there we go. I just did it again. Yay! Thanks. Yeah, my feet zapped and getting the sensation that they're being stepped on in the shoes that they're on. The shoes actually literally caving in. So once again, something that's not a part of my body is being crushed into my body. And I'm not imagining that because I can literally feel the roof of my foot, of my shoe, came in onto my foot. So now I'm laying down playing pie cross, getting my chest and my nipples shocked, and my throat is getting shocked a little bit too. So that's fun. And my feet are getting zapped still. Thanks. Started zapping now they're zapping my junk. They started zapping my butthole and my prostate. They can actually go in deeper other than this superficial skin layer. And they literally are zapping my prostate now. I'm not making that up. I don't have any prostate issues. That you know of, they said. Fucking jackasses. And the whole left arm starts getting shocked and jolted. Like the bicep and the tricep, primarily up to the shoulder. Forearm a little bit. Just feeling it a little bit now. Now my right shoulder's getting shocked a little bit. And my neck feels it mildly. They were also continuing to zap my private parts. I was able to block partially the sensation. I basically like shifted my feet, crossed them, pushed them down into the mattress a little bit. And I felt an electrical current beam like hit my foot. I felt two actually. And my chest was getting shocked like a motherfucker. And it felt like they were concentrating on the heart, which they're kind of doing right now. That way. Very disconcerting, like thumps or buzzes. And they start pounding on my back. And so it was hurting my back like a motherfucker, just instantly. There's like rapid like pounding on my back. And while my chest was getting shocked and my heart getting shocked, or my pec's getting shocked, or I don't know if it was my pec or my heart, but it was very disconcerting. I would put my hand up like this, like I'm doing now actually, because they're still trying to shock my nipples. They weren't doing my nipples at the time, but now they're doing my nipples and my chest. I was doing this, and just like now, now I can feel an electrical sensation in my forearm. That is not imagined, Dad, Father. That is not in my fucking head. That is real. They're zapping my prostate, my asshole. It's literally like throbbing. I can literally like reach behind me. Like I'm literally like like reaching behind me right now, and I feel a strong electrical field. It doesn't hurt. It's actually stimulating it, but I don't want that. I don't want to be sexually assaulted right now. Still getting my prostate and my asshole buzzed, jolted. Feeling a very strong electrical current going through them. I can't block it entirely, and I can feel like strong electrical surges on my hand or my feet when I block it. Right now, they're also hitting my head. It feels like my head's like in a vice right now. It feels like there's a lot of pressure around it. I can feel strong electrical pulses on my hand in different patterns. I wave my hand around. So, thanks Austin Police Department for that. They're at my throat now. It's like I can't, and they were doing the heat lamp on my fucking face. Now I'm getting my feet getting good. I'm still getting my asshole and my prostate shocked because I've got my hand. I'll put my hand behind me like this, and I'll even like bring my feet up like that. But then I'm still getting these pulses. It's like, first of all, it's like a continuous current, and then there's pulses going through it. And I'm feeling an electrical current, and pulses go through my hand right now. Right now, they're zapping my asshole and my prostate. So once again, I can feel around. I can always find a beam. This time it's kind of mild, but I can still feel it. And that's my report. See you in probably 2 minutes or so. They're doing the heat lamp on my face, fucking with ears. They were zapping my dick, trying to stimulate it. They just did it again. And when I came in here, they call it the, so I can do that, wave pool. But it's like, it feels like it's down here, and it's like, whoa. I literally feel like my body go, whoa. I'm kind of exaggerating just a little bit. My feet feel like I have like restless leg syndrome, but like in my feet, they're buzzing my feet. My feet feel like there's a buzz around them, and it feels like I have to like do this or like wave them around or whatever. So I feel like I have to do like this and like that, and like it just, and they feel itchy, and they're fucking with my chest a little bit right now, so, and my neck. They're zapping my crotch, so they're zapping my dick, and I had both my hands in my lap, or on each leg, and so I cupped my crotch, or put my hands like crossed in front of them, fingers interlocked or interlaced or whatever as they just said right now, and I could feel the beam on my hand, and then my hand started throbbing, and I didn't feel hardly anything in my crotch. They are pushing down on my throat, like right here, while I'm playing a game in the bed. I felt very disconcerting getting a throat crushed. I've got like this, electrical surge hitting my body. It feels like it's hitting me like here and like on the back of my neck. I can feel it throughout my body, and it's just making me very antsy still. You know, it's not as bad as a migraine necessarily, but I can't get anything done. Just pounding my head a little bit more now. Nothing making my head hurt. Getting zapped in the crotch, and I tried to lay on my back, and I tried to bend my leg over the knee of the other one and pull it in so it's like hovering above my crotch, and try to block that, and they started zapping my asshole. So getting that fun. Still getting the nipple zaps, so having to do like like that, but with like both arms. And I'm feeling a surge in my, feeling the electrical surges through my forearm. My my taint or my perineum or my or my tween, whatever, and my asshole and my ass. Just zapping that. Sometimes I can sort of I'm laying on my back. Sometimes I can like put my legs together and cross my legs at my feet. I can feel a beam on my feet when I do that, and it appears to block it some of the time. Right now they're getting my nipples, so they're doing that. They're starting to zap my throat, so they're doing like the throat crush a little bit. So, and it's kind of like in a way like kind of like this. And they're starting to do it now with a little bit of the cold sensation. In my ears right now. Just getting zapped, and my ass. On the head, like all over, and in the neck, like right here too. Watch my ass again. I mean, they've been pretty much doing that most of the night. They're hitting my right arm, like around shoulder area. Painful jolt, and they're hitting it multiple times. They're still hitting a little bit. They're also hitting my stomach. I put my arm in front of trying to block my stomach area. I could feel an electrical field on my hand and forearm.
So this is about the time that I started listing off all the things that you would have to believe, aside from, my more simple theory. I stated that I did not suddenly develop schizophrenia, plus 24/7 daily psychoses that my video footage confirms as well, so that you would have to think that my camera suffered from psychoses as well. I also did not develop multiple personality disorder, now known as dissociative identity disorder, which most psychiatrists don't believe is real. I did not develop these mental illnesses at age 41 without a history of mental illness. That doesn't happen. That's extremely rare. Also, I did not suddenly develop epilepsy, fibromyalgia, migraines, restless leg syndrome, neuropathy, arthritis, fever and nausea, vertigo, and sudden numbness. And this list has since grown. Plus, I also did not suddenly develop supernatural powers to foretell the future or have sight beyond sight, and also still experience other unexplained phenomena like poltergeists that push me around all the time. You would have to believe all that, plus ignore the mountain of evidence, and ignore the multiple witnesses and victims that have gone on official record, in writing and in person with individual interviews by a sergeant with Travis County Sheriff's Department.
And as is my crotch. Great. One thing. Last hour they've been like hitting my back, and I was walking in Mac's outside just a few minutes ago, and they've been hitting my lower back like a motherfucker. Like it feels like there's just a huge. It feels like as if I'm lying on my stomach and there's like just a pile of bricks on top of my lower back or something, or like there's someone standing on it. I was putting my arms behind me, like I'm doing right now, like just like that, to try to block whatever it is. Well, I'm feeling a little bit of electrical shocks on my hand right now. Updated in a few days. I just hate doing these videos. I hate grabbing my camera every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes. And the past couple of days have been hitting me pretty hard in the head and the body. This evening has been, this whole night has been them hitting my back and my shoulders and my neck. They were hitting my head a little bit earlier. I can do like this and feel it, and this is like whether or not like if you picture me on my back, I'm getting hit in the neck. I literally will put my hand behind the mattress, and I'll feel something. I'm feeling something right now as I say that. They keep pounding like right here, or then my shoulder or whatever, and if I'm laying on my back, they'll get my whole fucking back. They're doing it right now. It really hurts. It's like someone's stabbing me like in the back with like a sharp pointy thing. If I block with my hand, then it feels like my hand's like literally being like crushed. It's a weird sensation. They just did it again. They're getting my nipples too. So they're doing the electrical nipple tweak. Also, they're hitting my feet in the bed, and they're hitting it in that way that it feels like it's in a like a static field, but it also gives it almost like a restless leg syndrome thing. My foot doesn't. They're hitting basically both feet. I put my right foot under my left knee, and I wasn't feeling that way. And then they were doing it to my leg, so my leg kicked a little bit. And then they were doing it to my foot again, and so it just feels like I can't sit still. They're still zapping my feet, and they're doing this thing where they're hitting me like, I don't know, on the neck, the nose, or the throat, where it's causing me to have like, it's causing some sort of sensation that triggers a. They're also constantly hitting my beard and my mustache and my nose. And it's causing my nose hairs to like, feels like I've put my face like against like an old tube TV when it had the old when it would have that static field on it. And they're doing it right now. And it's causing like a tickling / itching sensation. And they're also hitting various parts of my body, making them itch over and over and over again. And I can put my hand over all these body parts, or put my foot over these body parts. I can feel it in the other foot or the hand that's blocking it. So all night long, they keep zapping me, and they're zapping my ass right now. I'm actually trying to put my hand behind it to stop it, and I'm feeling a pulse hit it. They're attacking my feet. I rolled over on my stomach, which is my preferred sleeping position, and my whole fucking stomach and chest are like rumbling, and I put my hand like under it like that, and I could feel electricity going through my arm. They're fucking with my breathing. They're zapping my chest, and they're making my breathing very shallow. They're fucking with my face, almost making my nose stop up. I don't usually have nasal issues. They're hitting my ass. They're hitting my feet. They're hitting my chest and stomach. They're hitting my back, my neck, and they're hitting my face. And they're hitting my arms. And I can feel an electrical field all around me. So I feel like something hitting my hand there. I feel something pulsing up here. So, not imagining it. Got my head propped up on the pillow, and they were pounding like my upper back. And I put my hand like pretend the door is the mattress, and I'm laying on it. And so I put my hand behind the pillow trying to block it, and my hand literally was like it was literally being moved by an external force. They're still dabbing me all over. Like almost immediately after making the last video, they started crushing my throat, like right here. Now they're doing it again. So outside just a little bit ago, and they were hitting my head the whole fucking time. They're hitting my forehead mostly. No matter what you know, and I was constantly having to do like, now I'm lying in bed playing a stupid game because I can't go to sleep because they keep zapping me. They're zapping my asshole, and they're zapping my throat. They keep doing like a throat crush or crushing here, and I can put my hand right. I can put my hand back here, and I can feel something coming in at an angle when I'm lying on my back. I can feel something coming in like like here and hitting there. So like when I put this arm up or shoulder up, I can feel it in my shoulder, feel it in my hand. They're still zapping me. They're zapping me in the stomach right now. They were doing that a lot when I was taking Max out to play fetch with him. Still suffering, still saying the most horrible things possible. They hit me with the heat lamp in the face, primarily, and my body. My torso still feels like it's getting burned. It still feels like it has a sunburn, and it's under a heat lamp. And my face feels like it's under a heat lamp, and my head feels like it's under a heat lamp. And I can do this, and I feel a pulse on my hand, like that. And I felt the warmth. I'm lying in bed, just playing a game on my phone. On my back, lying on my back. They're pounding on my back. My whole back felt like it was on fire, so my back is burning now. Bed, just playing the game on my phone, and there's that like right here. Oop, there's that me like right here at the top of my back, on my neck. And I keep like doing this, and I can feel an electrical pulse on my hand. And then they're knocking on my butt. They're making my butt like go like butt cheek like have like a little spasm. And suddenly I get out of bed and I don't have it anymore. Move and I don't have it anymore. So, but my back is really hurting, and my torso is still burning right now. They just started decreasing that as I was talking to y'all, or no. They've been hitting my neck and my back and my torso all evening. I went to Walmart. They were doing it. They've been doing it here. They've been doing something now where they are literally hitting my face, and it's hitting me like on the forehead. It's hitting me like here and here, and it's hitting me right here. So I literally put up both hands, but I'm literally feeling a beam of some sort of like electromagnetic or whatever on my hand, pushing down on it, and on my elbow, and on my shoulder. There's that in my neck right here. I was putting up my hand right there, putting it in this. I can feel electrical shocks on my forearm and my hand. And there's that in my feet too, and it's causing my feet to curl. They've been zapping me all night long. They've been getting my feet quite a bit. And I was laying down right now with Max. And they were hitting my ear. I felt like someone was like putting a needle in my ear, or right here. I'm lying down on my bed, just playing a game on my phone. My whole head feels pressure, feels like it's being electrocuted. And my chest is being hit. And my upper back is being hit. I can't find a comfortable position, no matter which one I lie in. If I turn over on my side, they immediately start shocking my shoulder and upper arm. I was just about to get back to bed. They started shocking my jaw, and it's causing my jaw to clench and almost grind my teeth. And I never grind my teeth. I've never been a person that grinds their teeth awake or asleep. Watching TV, and I keep fucking with my face. And I keep increasing the pressure to it and then decreasing it. And it also feels like something's like, pressing against my nose or the bridge of my nose. And they're still fucking with my feet. They had kind of let off my feet for a few days, I guess. And it's been increasing lately. So my feet feel like there's a big pressure on them and electrical charge to them. When I wear shoes, I can feel the roof of the shoe caving into the top of my foot. So, not in my head, not a mental illness, not a neurological disease. So this email was a fluke. I guess I thought I'd sent a video in it, but I didn't. It was just an empty email. So, but
That was my time on my last day in Austin. Let's count the number of emails that my dad ignored after already ignoring 44 of them and not even really responding to the content of them. Let's count those. Let's count the number of videos where or I'm not yelling, I'm not, manic or anything like that. I'm simply documenting my pain. But apparently that makes me a bad person that should be treated like shit and abandoned. And blocked from every resource that I deserve and restitution that I deserve. So my dad doesn't like to right his wrongs or help me make sure that others do. That's the type of person he is. They're up to 59, 60, 61, 62. They want me to put like a ding, 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 ding here. And I thought about it, and I just want to export this video and get it over with. So I thought about putting like a ding there for every single one. So, 80, 82. And that last one was an empty one, so I guess we'll have to subtract one from that last one. And there might have been a duplicate in there or something. So he ignored 84 emails since then, not to mention a handful of other videos that I had done. Just a lot of wasted time. So my time's not important to him. And what's tragic is I'm recording this and editing this video basically a year after these videos, and he still's doing nothing. It's just what he's best at. So in the next video, we'll talk about my trip down to the valley and me meeting with the FBI and a coward from the FBI who did absolutely nothing as well and broke all of his promises to me as well, just like my father.